All right, what's up everyone? We're gonna go over the falling forward and squat. I like to do this pretty often because it's one of the most common issues in a raw squat, right? People tend to push the bar forward and then they tell you that the bar rolled up on them because, gravity, dumbasses. But anyways, let's fix that, or at least address that. In 2001, I got exposed to the NASM, National Academy of Sports Medicine, OPT model, Optimum Performance Training, and it had an assessment tool known as the overhead squat, which was this, which would show you some deviations, whether it has ankle mobility issues, hip mobility issues, or in this case, shoulder mobility issues. Your shoulder mobility will dictate where your bar path goes just as much as your feet will and just as much as your trunk will. So, a way we can test that that's a little bit more applicable to the power lifter instead of the overhead squat because there's no resistance there is a behind the head squat. Taking a 25-pound plate or a 10 if you're a smaller person, you're going to that way be able to cervically retract, pull your headache back against the bar and expose that shoulder flexion and hip flexion. And if it's pulling you forward, you're going to know it's from your shoulders. So this real easy assessment lets us know and also dictates our squat pattern where we're at. So we're teaching ourselves to cervically retract, which keeps the thoracic nice and tight as we sit back to that squat. And the shoulders are also in flexion as the hips go in flexion. So now, let's say you have that issue, you have that problem. We need to loosen it. That's a lat mobility issue. So again, we need to go into flexion with the hips in flexion or actually go into a stretch. So the half kneeling plate halo is gonna allow us to come behind. What we're going to do is push that butt in, we're clenching the glutes, reaching behind the head and back, circling around in that half kneeling halo, or we can stay in that and dynamically go into that stretch while the shoulder stays in flexion for both sides. Then we can take that position, and again, it was an overhead squat assessment. We can take that overhead because that's going to strengthen that flexion ability and press overhead and lengthen the lats by using reciprocal inhibition, contracting the opposite side muscles. Like, for example, if I contract the bicep, the tricep has to lengthen. So if I do this motion of shoulder flexion, those lats have to relax to allow me to get into that pattern. And we can drive it home, my favorite, especially for warm-ups, the overhead band squat. By pulling back into flexion and locking the scaps down, there's our squat pattern. Look how upright I am. I'm not falling forward and I'm strengthening that position. Fourth, static stretching. Yes, ooh, static stretching, ooh, terrible. We're static stretching the lats. So we're gonna go into a lat stretch because your lats are not a prime mover. It's okay if they're a little fatigued. They're a prime stabilizer. We just want them to hold isometrically, not actually contract all the way through. So if you have overactive tight lats for you bench bros, chances are you're falling forward from your squat. Actually relax them a little bit. It's gonna help your squat, which is a bigger number on your total, unless you're Russ Wood, and then your bench is all you got. Love you, bye.